X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 5, titled Weapon X, Lies and DVDs. And this episode is pretty much should be translated as Wolverine wants his claws back because he wants them to be metal and he knows the audience wants it to be metal. Let's be honest, that's the situation going on here. Like, yeah, the bone claws, they're fine. But we miss those metal. It's the metal claws that we all remember. That makes him iconic, right? But that's what this episode's all about, really. I mean, in the post-credit scene, in last week's episode, Captain America gives Logan a file, along with Black Widow, a file that says Weapon X. There's a lot of warning. Cap's like, I don't know what's there, but I hear it's not good. And he's like, don't worry, Cap. Wait, I'm explaining. I can just say it in my natural voice. Don't worry, Cap. Everything's gonna be fine. I got a team with you. And he gets that team. He gets his Weapon X buddies to get on back to back on the lab. Which I will say this. Knowing that the 5 members, not including Morph and Logan, I knew which 2 was, if any of them are going to die, I knew which 2 were going to die. It was the ones that were not more popular names. Like, I don't know, if your name weren't Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike, you're more likely are going to die. And that's what happens in this episode. Because here's the thing, it's a horror episode, basically. It's the Weapon X lab is just filled with aliens. And it turns out that the aliens are the reason that he forgot Logan has forgot who he was. Because the mad scientists were able to inject some alien juice into his veins to make that happen. Because that was always a trouble. Like, whatever happened, the memory in the brain keeps not forgetting, and we want them to forget, because if they forget, they become true weapons themselves. And the aliens are like, enough is enough, and we want a host, and of course the only good host is the best of what they do, which is Logan. So what you have here is, like, it's a Wolverine centric story or episode. But what happens is we shift gears in it, where we focus on Morph. And Morph in this, like, let's be honest, I think Morph could easily be the cameo character. And what I mean from that is, because his whole power is to just morph to any character, he kind of gets to, like, morph into any Marvel character. He morphed into weapon. He morphs in, like, in this episode alone, morphs into the Thing. He morphs into Deadpool. By the way, why did he morph into Deadpool? I don't know. Like, he ain't swinging the swords around. I don't get it. He morphed into Spider-Man in this episode. So he morphs into Thor in, like, the episode 1 this season. So he morphs into other characters outside of the X-Men characters, or mutants in general. So he's clearly can easily see, like, okay, he's just there so you can have a story reason of why, randomly, the Thing shows up, or the Hulk shows up, or Spider-Man shows up, but it's not really Spider-Man or Hulk or whoever. Like, you can easily see Morph being that character. And what they do in this episode is have Morph kind of find themselves as a character. I keep saying, but the character's non-binary. They find themselves into themselves. They find themselves, and where they place themselves in that team. And it's just, I mean, when they are trying to convince Lady Deathstrike and Sabretooth to stay, because also Omega Red is busted loose. That I was like, well done, person, mutant. convincing these two characters to stay put is a pretty hard thing to do. The thing is with, like, sure, you got the whole aspect of things, like when the actual aliens show up and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on here? What's going on? What's with these alien bugs? What's with the bugs from Men in Black 1 showing up in this? And the thing is with this episode, and then you got the wooing alien bug morphing thing, and there's that whole aspect to it as well, which I thought was pretty effective, and it kind of gives you a sense of, whoa, okay, this is how far it can go. When Logan gets his claws back, I mean, yes, he does the comic book image of the come here with the claws and like I'm back, baby, and that whole thing. But there's a part of me that felt like the big giant, the claws the back scene could have been a tad bit longer. I'm just saying, it felt like claws the back. Logan, we need to go. And then he's gone. They fly out of the base, and then it's see you next week, and that's it. We'll say that the scene between Morph and Wolverine is pretty great, because Morph is once again, it's like, dude, like, seriously, we went all that trouble just so you can have Metal instead of Bone Claws. Like, seriously, we're in all that trouble. And, like, don't tell me it's because you think the only purpose you have is being an animal. And Logan's kind of like, yeah, that's pretty much my own purpose. And then he's like, that's kind of sad. Are you sad? Because I'm sad for you. And I'm like, they find some characterization with this character who, let's be honest, ain't one of the known X-Men. Let's be honest. So, they are more likely going to be like, yeah, I don't know, maybe the creation of the show, or I know Morph is. So, I mean, it's just, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good episode. I mean, last week was a more, I think because you got that Magneto death and that big reveal, it kind of gives you a little bit more, and Kang, and you got all these big things happening. It's kind of good and fine, and yeah, I didn't thought it was like, I thought it was a good episode. I didn't feel like, holy shit, it was a whole episode, oh my god, this is amazing. But I thought it was good. I thought it was just a good, decent episode. And probably this is meant to be the palate cleanser before we deal with the Westwing apocalypse and the aftermath of Professor X, Magneto being gone and all that. I think a lot of people think it's Onslaught is coming along, like, they're being out the Onslaught, but or Onslaught, whatever the character's name is. But anyway, if you've seen the episode, comment below, let me know your thoughts.